Today's video is one of my most popular looks and I'm recreating it just for you.
YouTube. And one of my videos on YouTube that I built wash stand would be a perfect thing to show you that look. We're going to recreate one of my most popular looks on YouTube today. I'm going to show you step by step how we got to this process, this part of the piece, and we're going to use one color of paint, one product to do this dresser, and it is going to be so cute because I know for a fact it's popular and people love it. It's easy, it works well on old oak, and this is the perfect candidate. All right, so let's jump in. Okay, so to begin with, I did put a link in the description. That link goes to Dixie Belle paint page where you can find every single product that you see me using today, okay? I am a Dixie Belle brand ambassador. That means I help promote and talk about Dixie Belle paint here on this channel and across all other social media channels. So I am a Dixie Belle girl. So today's project is this wash stand, which FYI, I got for free. I got it for free on Marketplace over a week ago. And it's been sitting here waiting for its makeover, and I saved it all for you today. So what's the look? What are we doing today? What's so popular and what am I excited about? Well, today we're going to be recreating my black brindle wash, okay? This is one color of paint applied and wiped back on a clean oak surface. Can you see how you can still see the wood grain? I had to fill in some holes in this piece because it had multiple holes hiding underneath kind of ugly hardware. So there is some mud in here. Actually, this is wood filler on the drawer, and then I use mud on the doors. But this one color, one finish look is very, very popular. It's easy to do. It still shows the wood grain. It's very pretty. And I call it my black brindle wash because it literally looks like my dog Stella's coat. So I named it after her. This is what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to do this in the easy way, and we're also going to apply some paper. All right, you ready? Let's go. I'm going to put this drawer over here so it's out of the way, and we're going to get started. So what's the first thing I do when I bring home a piece of furniture from anywhere? Well, that first thing is always going to be clean with White Lightning. Dixie Belle has Terra Clean, White Lightning, and Pristine Clean. They come in these pre-made, ready-made bottles, all ready to go, where you just stick the little sprayer in and you can clean as you wish. Or it comes in a powdered base material that you add water to and you can just mix it up like you like. So everything is cleaned, Terra Clean, Pristine Clean, and Terra Clean, Pristine Clean, and White Lightning. Say that 10 times fast. They're all the same thing. They're just packaged differently for marketing material purposes only. This is the same product across all three, okay? So I use this to clean my project. I did have to do a small repair on the back plate. There is a back plate on the top of this piece. I needed to nail gun it in to make sure that it was staying secure because it was a little bit wobbly. I did paint the interior of my drawers as well as the interior of the piece due to heavy staining and marking on this project. So I used a beautiful Rustic Red to come in and just clean that up and stain it. I will seal that later. That's like the last step. Right now we're in still the first prep steps. Okay, these doors and the hardware were not matching and not original. When they're not matching and not original, I take them off of the piece. You're going to find that with a period piece like this, with East Lake style washstand with spoon carvings, okay, this is fairly old. And I know people are going to be mad at me for painting it, but guess what? It's what I do. I'm a painter. So any hardware that's not original to a piece like this is going to come off. I will save it because this one's kind of cute, little lion. It can get used on another project somewhere else. Last time I had a little lion piece like this, I put him on a circus piece and it was adorable. So I have not ordered hardware yet for this piece. I'm kind of waiting for it to speak to me. The doors on this project had very big cracks along with marks like this. See how there's like detail work on here? It had almost like crisscross lattice kind of carvings in it. But because these doors had very large cracks, which I filled in, I wonder if you can see them. There's one here, there's one here. So these doors were damaged. I decided that since the doors had big cracks that you could see through, I was going to fill them in with mud because my thought is to add this paper to the interior doors sections and paint the rest in that black brindle wash. All right, we will get to that part. Don't worry, I'm going to show you step by step. So the first step after cleaning is to come in with your Dixie Belle's mud. I used mud and white and I filled in the cracks. I taped the back of the doors so that the mud wouldn't push through. Filled in the decor items as well as the large cracks in the door. When this is dry, you can sand it back to flat, though we're putting paper on it, so I didn't even do the best job because I'm putting paper over top of this area. Once your mud has dried and you've sanded it back to flat, you need to protect this mud because this mud is still kind of water soluble. It's not very tough. All right, so I came in with Bonding Boss in white and I added 2 even coats to these 2 doors in order to prepare my area for paint. Bonding Boss is going to stop any bleed through tannins that come through, and this is oak, and oak is a notorious bleeder. So the dark paint will not bleed, you will not see anything coming through that paint, but if you did put something light in a section, that paint will come through. And there was actual staining on top of the mud where you could see the tannins had pulled through the wood. So I did 2 coats of Bonding Boss, applied, and waiting 24 hours before paint. Then I came in and I just added a couple, not even a couple, 1 coat of Magnolia. This is painted in Magnolia in order for my paper to look the best. You can see that this paper has 2 sides, okay? This is Dixie Belle's rice paper. See these little fibers? That's fibers in your rice paper. This paper is fairly strong. But if I were to take this paper and put it on a dark surface, you're not going to see this beautiful caning that's on here. It's like a faux caning. You're not going to see that very well if it's on a black dark surface. So if I would have painted this black and put this paper on here, the paper is going to disappear a little bit. So instead, I painted it in that nice light magnolia so that this will really pop. And today we're going to be adding the paper to 1 door. And we're going to be painting 1 part of this so that you can learn how to do a black wash. All right, that's a lot of talking. Your next question might be, well, Melissa, why is there black around here? What did you do that for? Well, this paper is going to be inset, right? It's going to sit on the inset panel here on the door. That means these edges are going to show, and we have white here, right? You can see the white around the edges. I just made it black with black caviar and wiped it back so that when I put my paper down, I have a nice clean edge that doesn't have to be fussed with that much, all right? Then I'm going to be painting this, and to be honest, if I were to sit on the floor, open up my can of paint, I could probably paint this entire thing in the way that I'm going to show you how to today in probably half an hour flat. The prep work is going to take longer. The decoupage is going to take longer. The painting is so fast, you will be amazed. And I think that's why it's so popular, is because it's such an easy finish. All right? So much talking. Let's get working. All right. As always, I do talk a lot. A lot. So if you need to mute me. But as always, I might not see your question fly by the screen, so you can drop it in and I can come back and answer it after I'm finished. So let's talk about this cane webbing decoupage paper. This is rice paper. It's actually this big. I cut this piece in half already to get ready for paint today. So it's not overly large, but this is a great way for you to try something new on the doors of these pieces, right? Without having to be overwhelmed. I'm going to show you my hack for decoupage paper. So you can, there's a couple different ways to do this. You can cut this exactly to size. Like I could come in here, measure this perfect, cut it perfectly. That's not my style. I am a fly by the seat of your pants kind of a girl, not a measure anything, because if you involve numbers in it, peace out. I can't, I'm not a good number girl. So let's do the decoupage paper first on this section, and then we're gonna work over here to show you half of the piece in that beautiful finish so that you can learn how to do a black wash. All right, let's go. So how am I gonna get this paper that's bigger than this piece to fit in this size? Here's my hack, here's my trick. All right, we're going to make sure that you can see number one. All right, we're gonna take this paper and I'm going to score this paper. Scoring it means I'm gonna take the edges and I'm going to push my finger right in here where this edge is, so that when I cut my paper, I'm pretty much going to get an exact line. I might have a slight overlap, but I can fix that with paint, easy peasy. But scoring my paper is going to give me that outline to cut on, right? So now we know how big this is. I can take my scissors and cut this pretty much to size. So let's do that. Talk amongst yourself while I cut my paper. And fingers crossed I don't cut it too small, because can I tell you, I only have one of these, just one. So let's double check. This is going to go here, this goes here, this goes here. It's going to fit perfectly. So it's going to look like cane webbing inside these inset panels where we're going to apply our paper. So let's cut this one too. It's always dicey, y'all, when I do a live video and I have to cut things because the concentration level is unmatched. I get anxious when I have to cut paper and talk and teach and get measurements in here. It's stressful. It's a stressful situation. Okay, so again, let's double check, triple check, quadruple check. So this paper is going to sit here inside this little area. Once again, just scoring my edges so that I know where to cut it. I'm going to go a little bit taller on this one because this is going to be the upper lip where the paper is going to sit. So if I do cut it a tiny bit too short, what will happen is the upper section can be a little bit taller, can be a little bit bigger than the bottom section. Make sense? Because you're not going to see that little divot. There's an overhang some. We've got our paper. Triple check, measure, is it going to fit? Better fit. Once again, talking, teaching, painting, all of the things at the same time, mistakes happen, not going to lie. Okay, so now we have our paper. Our paper is going to sit in this inset circle, right? Now you can see how it's going to fit. It's going to look really pretty with these dark edges. So let's talk a little bit about how to lay down your paper the easy way. Because there is a hard way and an easy way. And if there's an easy way to be found, I'm going to show it to you because I do everything the easy way. Why not? Why not? So you are going to need Satin Clear Coat. Hi, Allie. How are you today? Satin Clear Coat is going to help you get your paper to adhere to your project. You also are going to need dun, 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 Saran Wrap. Okay? This is the thing that is going to allow you to take your paper and smooth out the wrinkles, right? Push out the wrinkles. You're also going to need a spray misting bottle filled with water, all right? And a brush. So let's do it. First of all, I'm going to apply my Satin Clear Coat to this entire section. We're going to overlay out our Satin Clear Coat, okay? Like put too much because I want to make sure that my paper is going to stick well. And this is clear, right? Yes, it looks a little milky right here in laying it down. It's not milky when it dries. It dries completely clear. So I can be a little bit aggressive with the amount of clear coat that I'm putting down on this section. Next up, you're going to want to take your sheet and mist it with water. All this is going to do is allow your paper to stretch a little bit. When you put it down, it's going to be able to stretch and you're going to be able to get nice, smooth section. We're going to make sure you guys can see. Next up, I'm going to take my paper and we're going to lay it down. I'm going to start from the bottom of this one. I want you guys to be able to see, but I need to see as well. I have to shift. I have to kind of sit in front, but you can still see from there, right? Yeah, you can still see. So I want the bottom to line up perfectly because remember we talked about the top having a little bit of an overhang, and that's okay. Spraying the paper allows you to get it nice and even. Could you lay your paper down and trim the edges when it's dry? Sure you can, but we're not doing that today. Okay, so now the paper is sitting there. Where's my plastic wrap? There she is. I'm going to take this plastic wrap and I'm going to go from the middle out, pushing it out, smoothing it, making sure that this whole entire thing is going to have no wrinkles. There is a little bit more than I would love right up here in this corner, but I can easily either paint over that with the black or just cut it with a knife and you're not going to be able to see. Now all of a sudden these doors that were cracked down the middle and damaged are looking pretty darn cute. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. Let's move you in a little closer so you can see. Check out that paper. Yes, you can see a little bit more of the black right now where I laid down that black around the edge, but when that dries, it will definitely lighten up. Paper when wet is always a little bit darker. When it dries, it gets a little bit lighter. Cool? Easy? Easy peasy, right? So easy. Anybody can do that, I swear. So let's move away our brush, our Satin Clear Coat. I don't do my second Satin Clear Coat when this is wet. I don't want it to pull the ink. I'll wait for it to get dry, then I'll come in with my Satin Clear Coat and seal it. But right now, if you come in here nice and close, you have no wrinkles. There's nothing there. It looks exactly like I want it to, right? Super cute. I know I see super cute a lot, but guess what? I'm super cute. It's super cute. Super cute is fun. Be fun. Be happy. All right, let's talk about paint. What is the paint that I'm going to be using today for this project? This is a one color paint finish. This is Caviar by Dixie Belle. The blackest of the black, water-based, zero VOCs, chalk mineral paint. All right? Link in the comments, actually in the description, so you can shop this as well. This is a 16 ounce. It's going to last you forever. You're going to need a brush, your spray misting bottle, and you're going to need your bag of rags. Bag o' rags. Did you know Dixie Belle sells a bag of rags? I buy these every month because do you know how often I need rags? These are clean. They are cotton. They have been washed so that there's no lint. That is perfect. So we're going to get a rag out of our bag of rags. Now, remember I said that if I was just sitting on the floor, not talking, not teaching, I could whip out this entire piece of furniture in probably half an hour? It's literally that fast. What we're going to do is apply a heavy coat of black caviar, pushing it into all of the spoon carving, all of the edges. I want the edges to be a little bit darker. We're going to spray our rag and wipe it back. It's going to leave us with that really pretty brindle look. All right, brush, dipped into the Caviar. Let's start over here on this corner right here, okay? If you like, I can bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what's happening. I'm going to push my paint into all of those little details. If you feel like they can't get in there, spray it. If your paint is a little bit thinner, you're going to be able to manipulate it a little bit easier, okay? We're going to work in sections. I'm going to paint this section right here, and then I'm going to paint across here. And I'm going to show you how easy this brindle look is. You have two ways you can do it. You spray your rag, spray your piece, doesn't matter. Now we're just going to start to wipe it back. I want to see wood, okay? I want to control the amount of color that's on here. I want it to stay dark inside the edges, but I want this finish. Can you see how it's just a bit more dark, a bit more modern? The color is a bit nicer. By being able to control the finish, you're able to get the look you want. Say there's a heavy damage right here, like on the top of this piece, there's some stains. If there's a heavy damage here, you could come back in with your brush, add a little bit more, and darken up a specific area. So on the areas on the drawer where I have filled in and have heavy damages, and there's mud or there's some sort of wood filler, that section will be darker. Again, the hardware is still going to go over top of it, but controlling the amount of darkness is the thing that's going to let you really get the look that you want. Let's look at the top of this piece now. Okay, so now we're going to work on this piece right here. Again, we don't want our paint to get dry. We're just going to come in here, cover this section, and then we're going to take our rag, if it helps you to turn it around, turn it around. Let's wipe it back. So it's a lot of putting it on and taking it off. You're not really painting, you're almost like washing. You're color washing your furniture. You're controlling the amount of darkness that you're putting on. And when this is dry, it's going to look a little bit different. I can put the drawer up here so you can see how it's going to look when it's dry. And then that way you're able to get a finish that has a really pretty kind of a tigery finish versus an orangey finish. You're still going to see wood. You're still going to see almost like a stain, but you're able to hide some of the damages that are on this piece very easily. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get a more modern vibe to this project versus something that might feel a little bit old-fashioned, like this oak stand. This little oak washstand is cute, but you know, it might not fit in everybody's style. The color is orange. People don't like orange wood. I don't want to strip and stain this thing, but I need to hide a bunch of damages, the broken doors, the drawer, all of these things. So by just taking your paint and creating a little bit of a wash, I mean, you're going to get messy, trust me. You're allowing yourself to still see that pretty wood and create a finish that just hides those damages. But how fast is that? I can live with this one coat coverage that's been wiped back and either wax it or seal it with a clear coat. It's up to you. We can work on this section over here beside the door, and then this way you can see how that's going to look with my paper. Okay, let's aim you back down a little bit. Sorry, rocking and rolling and moving all over the place, but I want you to get the best view possible. Okay, let's work on this section here. The other great thing about this, the amount of paint that I'm using for this project is so little. It's such a little amount of paint. Wiping it on, putting it on and wiping it back like this is so easy to do. And the amount of paint is little. I've done this with white, I've done it with black, I've done it with brown, and I've done it with gray. But black seems to be my go-to, just for hiding the amount of stains, especially on this old wood. And if you have a piece that's like super thirsty, you know what I mean when I say thirsty? I'm talking like that old oak that's being left outside that's really heavily porous. And that just sucks that paint right in. It works so good on that finish. It's amazing. So we're just going to keep going. Now you can tell why I painted those interior edges so that I wouldn't get paint on my paper. And again, just take your bag from your bag of rags. Bag of rags. I'm telling you, you're going to use a bag of rags so often. Getting this really pretty wiped off finish so fast. See where the clear coat sat? Let me wipe it really hard right there because I don't like how the clear coat sat in that little section. Let me wipe off the clear coat and reapply my paint right there. It's that easy. You control the amount of product that you're putting on. You can also come back in here when your brush is almost gone with paint and just clean up any edges if you want to make some corners darker. Like I like to kind of make my edges a little bit darker sometimes. So I sometimes will come back in with a brush that has been, you know, almost used of product to get that vibe, to get that look. Now let's push it back and have a little chat about what you see. So now you're seeing how this pretty little panel with my cane webbing, decoupage paper, looks super cute in the door with the drawers and the details popping with that nice dark paint. So I'm not kidding how fast this is. Like you could whip this whole entire piece out, half an hour, easy peasy. You totally could. It's going to be something that you're going to start to do and you're gonna be like, why wasn't I doing this look before? So again, let's just do this little bottom piece. Pushing it into the carvings. Remember there's some really cute little spoon carvings on here. And pushing the paint into the wood. And taking your bag of rags and wiping it back. Letting it sit a little heavier in the crevice. But when I saw on YouTube, because I spent so much time over there this weekend answering questions and comments, when I saw that video was so popular, and I've done the same look multiple times, I was like, I have to do it again. I mean, I think it's time. Sometimes you have to revisit something that you do because it is a popular thing. And why not ride out that little wave of popularity and make something pretty? What kind of hardware do you think I should get for this piece? I'm thinking black wrought iron. Obviously one pull and then I can drill new holes for the drawer at the top. I'm just not 100% sure on what I want to do. If it's going to be pulls or if it's going to be maybe a different style of hardware. I know black. I think black is going to be the thing that I do. I just haven't decided yet on how rustic I want to go, if that's the word I'm looking for. Because I feel like this calls for rustic vibes, being a rustic finish. Look how fast that is. So fast. You're gonna get messy, but that's half the fun. You're not doing it right unless you get messy. I always say that. You should be messy. Have fun, be messy. It's just paint. There's no rules in painting. There's no rules in painting. All right, let's finish one door and then I'm gonna put the drawer back in so you can kind of get the full effect. I am gonna come in here and paint around the edges like I did on the other door to have the white covered up on the corners where my paper is going to sit. And if you also want to add black wax, that's something else that's always a good benefit to this style of painting. Black wax comes in and darkens those corners even more and gives you a look that's just a little bit deeper. Like see here, it's just a little light, so we can just go back in and add a little bit more product. It's a gentle wipe too. I'm not even really getting in there that hard. I'm just gently wiping. So pretty. I also feel like it's a little light over here. Let's dry brush on just a little bit darker with whatever's left in my brush. So if you get a chance, pop over to my YouTube. It's the same name, At the Top Drawer VA. You can check out my videos that have given me so many new followers this weekend. It's been chaos over there. I love it. And there's also a new feature on YouTube, which I would love it if you would help me out with. There's something called Hype, Hype. Hype. If you go to my YouTube channel, the Top Drawer RVA, look for a long format video. I posted one on Saturday. And hype the video. When you hype a video, what that means is that it gives the small creator bonus points. And those bonus points allow the creator to be pushed further a little in the algorithm. And if you do it and you have a YouTube channel and you want me to come hype you back, tell me, drop me a DM, say, hey Melissa, I went over and hyped you. Come hype me back and I'll come over and do the same thing for you. Women supporting women, let's go.